Hi there, this is an overview for your consumer math project and also information about part 5, the writing of checks and keeping a check ledger. They also call that a register. I just wanted to remind you that you've seen projects during class time and you know that they're a wonderful, beautiful thing that include a lot of math, real life math that you're going to be using for the rest of your life. So this is the project. It starts off with a cover page with color. You're going to show your career somehow, some kind of visual. We're going to be using Google Slides for this first part, so if you wanted to just print out Google Slides, that's great. You can print them in color, or you can add color if you have black and white printer. Part 1 is going to be on Google Classroom. We will have some input for you. Ms. Drake is going to be editing, or someone will be editing and giving you some feedback on your paragraph about your career. We've done a lot of classroom work for this. We started off with your half sheet before you were approved. Then we did the tree map where you got to look at your strengths and your commitments in addition to piecing that together with what you're interested in for your career. And last, Ms. Drake broke it out on Google Classroom so that you could type in each of the different parts before you wrote your paragraph or paragraphs. So we're figuring here 1 or 2 paragraphs. This backwards P with a line through it is a symbol for paragraph. Then part 1 is the flow map that we did in class. Everybody should have had initials from Ms. Drake or me approved with your number. All of your final adjusted income should be between $1,000 and $4,000 something. And you're going to write a paragraph about that. We also did the student loan calculations in class, and we remembered that if we did our student loan calculations correctly, the number of years of extra training or education that you'll need times 50, that was the unit price per year, $50, is what you're going to be paying back monthly with your student loan payments. We're going to be working on in class a rough draft on how to do that student loan calculations paragraph. We'll be putting that on the back of a sheet that you're receiving today. You also need to have the budget worksheet. The budget worksheet, the draft we did in class, it's on the back of this stapled project packet. We did the draft in class. We shared how there were 10 different things that you need to deduct from your monthly income in order to make sure you know where all your money's going. And we have a final copy that you'll be including in your project. Next, part 4, this is also in Google Classroom. You're going to make a menu, and maybe that menu is a short paragraph, and you're going to have a price list with totals from the grocery store. This is a great place to put in any extras. Let's see if I've got a handy project. So this was another project where the student included the prices listed. She had like a little menu. She actually made the meal, and her parents wrote a note saying that she actually made the meal. That's worth extra credit. And that's a chance for you to add extras if you'd like for that part of the project. Again, that's in Google Classroom. If there's something that's not quite right, then Ms. Drake will give you some editing notes so that you know what to fix. Last part is what we're going to be putting on this video in Google Classroom. You're in the money. So this is where you're going to get to fake spend $1,000 from a relative that's very proud of you. You need to have for this 8 to 10 checks, the check ledger, and a thank you note that tells what you bought. You'll be sharing 3 parts of the project in class. You'll be sharing part 1, what your career is and why you chose that career, your path this time anyway. Your part 4, make a meal, what you're going to be creating for the meal that you're trying to impress people with. You don't want to just have cereal and, I don't know, cereal and pizza you order from somewhere. It has to be an actual meal that impresses people. And the last thing is you're going to be sharing your thank you note, just to let us know what you bought, and so that we're all very grateful for amazing gifts like this that come into our lives. Let's see. So just an overview. You've got a cover that's color, about 4 paragraphs. 8 to 10 checks, a check ledger, and a thank you note. That's the project. Now let's talk about the checks. You were given a while back this part 5. It's on the back of where we did the best career for me, that had your strengths, your life goals, and your commitments for choosing your career. So this is, you're getting to fake spend $1,000, and you wanted to come up with stores. Now the red seems to show better on the screen, so you're going to be using pencil to write checks, or if you want to use the pen, that's okay. Normally speaking, you would always use ink. So let's say that you wanted to buy, you went to the Vans store, and you wanted to buy shoes, and they cost $39.99. Oops, I read $39.99. And this is where you'd write the item purchase, so this is shoes. Okay, then we're going to be using what it says right here, multiply by 1.08. 1 is for the cost of the item, and it's 8% tax locally, so this equals the 0.08 part. So we'll be able to use calculators at this time and type in 39.99 times 1.08 equals. Okay, so that has more digits than we have in the United States for money. So we're going to round it off to the nearest hundredth. That's the 8 digit. So it's going to be $43.18 or 19 cents. We have to decide. Well, we know how to do rounding. You look at the neighbor underneath. It's a 9. If the neighbor is 5 or more, you add 1. So this is going to be $43.19. That is what you would have to pay. Now, you've been given checks, and the checks are numbered. So the first check that you write, you're going to write it on number 101. You've been given also a step-by-step how to write checks. So we just did step 1 where you multiply by 1.08. Then we rounded off. We showed how to do number 2. Now I'm going to go through the other steps with you in a visual way, but you can see part 3 has steps A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, all the way to signing it in cursive. So these are visually here for you. If you wanted more examples, I have 2 samples that I've written on the back as numbers 111 and 112, because you're only supposed to have up to a total of 10 checks. So you have a minimum of 8 checks, maximum of 10 checks, and you're trying to spend all of your $1,000. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I needed to write a check to Vans store for $43.19. So it looks like this. Start off, Vans store. Sorry, no apostrophe. It's just plural, not possessive. This would be somebody named Vans store, but it's just Vans store. $43.19. You're going to put the date, which today is 5/23/18. Then this next part is tricky. You write it out in words. Between the tens and the ones digit, you put a hyphen, and you always start with a capital letter. So 40 is FORTY hyphen 3. And then at this point you can put the word and, or a plus sign, or a backwards 3 with a line through it. That's an ampersand sign. And then the change is written as a fraction over 100. So it's 19 over 100. Then you put a line to the word dollars. Don't write dollars, it's already written there for you. Where it says for, you can write what you bought, that would be shoes. And then this line here is for your signature. Your signature is written for you inside the inside cover of your math textbook. I wrote your name in cursive in the inside cover of your math textbook. And we're going to help you practice writing your signature when we do sharing in class and you guys get to write positive comments to each other during the presentations or after the presentations. Okay, so that was one example on how to write checks. Let's try one more. Let's say that you're going to write a check and it's going to be a donation. Well, that wouldn't really have a tax added to it. So let's say that you're going to write it to, one of my favorites is St. Jude's Hospital. I could really just put St. Jude's. And this is going to be a donation. And you want to donate $100. So this is going to be no tax. So it's just going to be $100. This is how you would write it. You write St. Jude's, today's date, 100.0.